And this also goes under urf. Really, I respect urf a lot. Urf is our word for culture. You know, the Europeans didn't have a word for culture until I think the late 18th century or the early 19th. So they didn't even know about culture. Muslims knew about culture. A'raf is part of Islam. Al-urf, you know, al-'ada muhakkama. The norms of a people have legal rulings. And so culture is respected, and people's culture should be respected. Different peoples do different things. If I go to the Eastern Province, I have friends there in Arabia. I've never seen their wives. And they're close friends. But I've never seen their wives, because that's their culture. The women are in complete seclusion. And if they come out, they wear black from head to toe. That's their culture. I respect that. That's their culture. If you go to Yemeni culture, that's also generally the way it is. If you go to any tribal cultures where marriage is a very tricky thing, they tend not, because they don't want clans mixing and doing things like that, so they tend to have those seclusions. And Europe was certainly like that to a certain degree. So, you know, in other cultures, it's not like that. If you go to other cultures, there's a more relaxed atmosphere about that. And Syria, you'll see different types. Some families are very conservative, and it's very separate, and then other families are less so. So that also can be different families, and that's generally more religious than cultural, because they're taking religious positions that are more conservative. So the urf, they're taking the religious position, which might be overriding the urf, or it's an earlier, because a'raf change, cultures change. And we're certainly seeing a liberalization of Islam. I mean, you know, may these blessed souls all, you know, be happy that we're using their extraordinary techie that they've developed. But in their time, a woman would not be sitting in this floor next to the men. It just wouldn't happen. She'd be up there with that little mashrabiyya looking through one of the holes, right? And that's the way it was, right? And that's certainly the way it is still in certain places. We were somewhere last night where the women were up and they were looking through the mashrabiyas. I mean, I know because my wife was up there and she told me, you know, because I said, did you? She said, we had to look through little holes. And that's pretty much the way. This was a very segregated culture. So these are a'raf. Different cultures have different approaches. But it's important that we maintain, you know, in Islam there are mutaghayyirat and thawabit. There are things that change, and then there are fixed things. The things that you can never change is khalwa. You cannot be alone. Indiscriminate mixing, where there's not decorum and comportment. You should not have unmarried people simply mixing, or unmarried with married people. This is how you get a complete disintegration of a culture, like you have in the West, where they've broken down. Marriage is broken down, everything's broken down. So there are definite things that we should guard. Modesty in dress, modesty in speech, comportment. I mean, people now dress, it's amazing. Like these people dress was, even peasants in the Muslim world dressed with great dignity. They would never go out in t-shirts because t-shirts were underwear. I mean, in my culture, you know, when I was a kid, that was when it all started changing. You know, Marlon Brando wore a t-shirt on a film, and then everybody started wearing t-shirts. Before that, if you went out with a t-shirt, people would have been shocked because it's underwear. Okay, what's he doing with his underwear on? But now t-shirt has become national dress in America. You know, have a nice day. You know, or billboards, you know, like wearing billboards, free advertising for corporations. You know, Nike. You're just a product placement.